Alright, morning guys. It's just coming up to 8:25. We're back on Club Lake number 2, following weekend. So what are we, December the 20th today. I have been able to get back out for another session, and I'm down here with one of the other club members, Mark. So we're going to be fishing next to each other today. As you can probably hear, I've got a bit of a cold, but a bit of fresh air will do me good. So similar sort of spots to last week. So left hand rod, I've got out towards the left hand area of that bank of trees. Right hand rod over to the other side of them, and I'm about two-thirds, certainly over halfway across the lake. Those were the spots that I had the 2 carp on late on last week, so makes sense to go back there. So Mark's obviously just setting up along the bank, and he's already had a fairly sizable show out towards the corner there, so one of his rods is certainly going in that direction. But it's another cold, misty morning. Car was reading 1 degree when I got here today, so there was a bit of ice in the puddles, but it's supposed to get up to only about 6 or 7 degrees, but it's supposed to be bright blue skies and sunny day again, so this mist will soon burn off, and then we should be set for the day. I am potentially planning on coming down tomorrow as well, which is when it's supposed to be raining again, so we will see how the days differ with regards to fish action. It's been sunny yesterday and today, raining a couple of days before that, so it's quite changeable weather, but the temperatures are very much the same, so hopefully the fishing will be much the same as it was last week. So we've got the rods on the spots. Let's see what they bring. Right, it's just gone 10:20. You see the majority of the mist has gone. Still a little bit coming off the field there, but the sun is now fully out. It's starting to warm up a bit. We're probably up to 5 or 6, 7 degrees now, so the sun is bringing a nice little bit of warmth to the day. Just had a recast of both rods, fresh PVA bag on there, and just getting them further out. I wasn't particularly happy with the distance either of the initial casts had gone from this morning, but I'd left them out there for a couple of hours just to see how they'd do. But I've now got them both on the spots where I wanted them to be, so it was worth the recast, and we shall see if that brings anything. There's a few extra anglers turned up today as well. All the other ones are on the other lake. There's a couple of guys you can see there, and I think there's one out the back as well next to the wood. So there's a little bit of angling pressure on the other lake, but not a lot. It's 5.5 acres, that lake. This one's 5, so we've still got a good few acres of water each to be aiming for. Anyway, we shall see how the rest of the day goes. As I said, we've still got about 6 hours of fishing, so hopefully with those new spots sorted, we can get some interest. Right, just coming up to 12 o'clock now. There's been very little activity. Been watching the water. I've seen no real signs of fish. There's been no flat spots. Can't see any fish topping. And we got this ripple on the water, which means spotting any sort of bubbling or anything like that is extremely difficult as well. So I'm just leaving things as they are until I get some kind of indication that a fish may be somewhere else in the water. There's no point just recasting, so I shall leave the rods out for certainly the next couple of hours. I was happy with the locations they landed in, so I don't feel the need to change unless a fish starts presenting itself or giving me an idea of where they are. But yeah, there's been very little, or nothing at all really. There's been no beeps on the rods and no sort of indication on the water of anything moving about, so not very much more than that to report. Right, a few minutes after me saying I've had absolutely no interest, had a single beep on the left hand rod and then the right hand rod. About 20 seconds later, had a couple of beeps, little drop back, and I've picked it up. And we're into the first fish of the day. So that's timing for you. So it's been really slow, but kind of expect that in winter. And the rod was obviously in the right place. Already see him up on the top quite a way out. Not particularly doing that much at the moment. It's just a slow wind back in, but as I say, he's already up on the surface. Looks like a common, so chances are he's going to start doing all of his fighting as he gets under the rod tip. Either that or he's just going to come straight in. Well, that was probably the most sedate fight I'm ever going to have, but he looks a decent fish, so happy days. Another cold December day. There's another fish on the bank. Right, ho ho ho. It had to be done. It's Christmas in a few days' time, so I've donned my special hat for quite a special fish actually. He didn't do anything on the fight, but he's just gone 24 pounds, come here, 5 ounces. I think that's my biggest common Nice thick fish. I'm pretty sure that beats my previous commons, but either way, lovely fish to have on a cold December day, and a nice way to kick off the afternoon. So I'll get a couple of pictures of this one, get him back, see if we can get some more out. Happy days. Go on, mate. Nice. Right, we've just put my one back. That might be worth hitting, that winter bite. Try not to fall down. Mark's just had a few beeps on his rod, so we've come back up the bank. Almost took a swimming lesson, but is there anything there? So it's not, ain't got much, unless it's a bream. There was to say, it was only a few beeps. It didn't do very much other than that, but as could be seen by my one, you don't necessarily get screaming runs, so 3 or 4 beeps like that you've got to go after. But this is definitely not a fish. Oh well, next time. Right, it's just gone 2 o'clock. Mark's had to pack up and go because he's out this evening, so he's doing a slightly shorter session. I've got a couple of hours left before it gets dark, so I'm not going to do anything with the rods. They're both out on the spot. Saying that, yes, I do have a couple of PVA bags left to go, so, or PVA sticks, so I might give them a recast in the next half hour or so, just to give it one last roll of the dice. But for now, the rods are where I want them to be, so I'll leave them for a little bit longer. I hadn't had any other interest since that nice common earlier, and yeah, Mark literally had a few beeps just after I'd put that fish back, so it seemed like 12 o'clock sort of time was when the fish were willing. Hopefully in the remaining couple of hours we can get some more out. It was this time last week that I had the fish, so hopefully they're still willing to come out and feed a bit longer. Alright, it's just gone 25 past 3 and I've gone for the last throw of the dice. I've just seen a fish topping about halfway across, which is probably 20-25 yards shorter of where my left hand rod was, so I've just brought that in, fresh bag on it, and I've gone out on top of it after that showing fish. As you can hear, my throat is coming to the end of its usable life at the moment. My cold is kicking in more and more, so I don't think I'm gonna fish tomorrow. So I've got about half an hour left, and hopefully I've put that left hand rod in the right place to try and nick one final bite before I call a close on this session. I will see about another session in between Christmas and New Year, but I think I'm definitely not gonna give tomorrow a go. So got about half an hour left. See if we can nick one last bite before we pack up. Right guys, that is the end. As you can hear, my throat is totally giving up. There's been a couple of shows up the far end there, but no further action on the rods. It's just coming up to 4 o'clock, so I'm going to get the rods in and leave it there. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Apologies about my voice giving way, but is what it is. So yeah, we'll leave it there. The one £24 5 ounce common from the trip. So certainly worth the effort. And hopefully we can get some on our next trip out. So have a good Christmas all. Have a good New Year if I don't speak to you before then. And I'll see you again soon.